Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is your boy Deluxe Man doing a live topic video for you today. Trying something out a little different. Usually these type of videos are recorded and I post them. But you know what? I feel like this topic is worth going live for. So, in case you guys don't know, we're going to talk about Xavier Woods, who made some recent comments about wrestling fans. It's everywhere. Whatever wrestling site you visit, they're all talking about it. We are going to break down what he said, discuss it in full, and determine whether or not he's right. Is us as wrestling fans, are we entitled? Do we come across sometimes as entitled infants? We will discuss all of that in this video. If this is the first time you're watching your boy Deluxe Man, do yourself a favor. Like the video. The goal for this video, let's go 200. 200 likes is a fine goal to aim for. Subscribe if you haven't. If you want to help expand the brand of your boy Deluxe Man, you can do a couple of things. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at DeluxeManVX1, donate using PayPal, Patreon, Super Chat, buy yourself a Deluxe Man t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees. The channel is sponsored by WrestleCrate, which you can get down below in the description box. Subscribe today. Use the promo code DeluxeMan for 20% off the first box. Now, with that said, some of you are wondering, what the hell did Xavier Woods say? What are people complaining about? Why are people in such an uproar about 1/3 of the New Day? Well, let's take a look. We're going to go to Fightful.com, matter of fact. So we're going to go ahead and open this up real quick. All right, so I am currently on Fightful.com. By the way, welcome everybody. I see everybody in the live chat. Thank you guys for joining me. Here we go. Let's check it out. So I'm going to just read this. I'm not going to read it all. I'm not going to, go through everything. You can find it for yourself. I'll put a link to it in the description box if you want to look at it. But I'm just going to read some details and then we're just going to discuss it. We're going to wing it, if you will. So here's what's going on. Xavier Woods did an interview in the Philippines. PR work. And a representative of the Philippine newspaper was asking him questions. And one of the topics came up about wrestling fans complaining about wrestling. Here is what Xavier Woods had to say. When people talk about the difference between the organizations, not even organizations, between like NXT and the main roster. So when they say like, oh man, Takeover killed it, SummerSlam, this is gonna suck, it's on the same company. What is there to complain about? Oh, I could stop right there and talk about that. Well, let's continue. You just got an awesome wrestling show on Saturday night. You just had an awesome wrestling show on Sunday night. Debatable. Then you're gonna watch Raw on Monday and SmackDown on Tuesday, and then NXT. You can also watch AAA, Lucha Underground. You can watch so many wrestling from all corners of the world. So much wrestling from all corners of the world. And it's awesome and it's all good. He even mentions New Japan Pro Wrestling and other, ROH, blah, 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 blah. It's all different guys and girls portraying their form of art that they love and they want to give it to you. So anytime anyone complains about wrestling, it's so annoying to me because people come off as these entitled infants. So some of you are wondering where I got that phrase from. He said it. He actually said when people complain, they come off as entitled infants. Because in reality, wrestling hurts so bad. And then we're hurting ourselves to entertain the masses. And sometimes the masses want to tell us how much it sucks. Now, that's basically all he said about the topic on wrestling fans. So we're going to break this down. We're going to go ahead and go back to the beginning. We're going to discuss some points he made, and we're going to determine whether or not Xavier Woods was right or wrong. And then, of course, you tell me for yourself in the comments and in the live chat if you agree or disagree. So let's go back to the beginning here. When people talk about the difference between the organizations, not even organizations, NXT and main roster, he wants to make this point that it's all in the same company. So what's there to complain about? Is under the same WWE umbrella. So when you say NXT is good, you're basically saying WWE is good. I disagree. Instantly, right off the bat, I have to disagree with Xavier Woods because we all know NXT is a completely different animal than the main roster. The booking is different. The people in charge are different. Things are a lot more, I don't want to say freelance, but let's be real. Wrestlers get to do a lot more on NXT than the main roster because unlike the main roster, Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn don't have such control over NXT as they do the main roster. And Triple H clearly is a lot more cooler with wrestlers doing certain things and getting away with a lot more stuff. He still implies the same WWE form of entertainment. They still have to build a character. They still have to have storylines. They still have to do certain things to connect with the audience that they don't usually do in the indies. But Ricochet, I guarantee you, when he gets to the main roster, he will not be doing no double moonsaults off the top of cages. When you look at Tyler Breeze, and you look at Apollo Crews, and you look at Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, some of the things they did on NXT, they're not doing on the main roster. Asuka, many others. So this idea that, okay, it's under the same umbrella, so it's the same thing. No, it's not. It's not the same thing. It might as well be two different companies just under the same umbrella. Main roster is completely different than NXT. Hell, main roster doesn't even use some of NXT's bookings, some of NXT's directions with these characters. Compare Sami Zayn on NXT to the main roster. Completely different. Compare Kevin Owens from NXT to the main roster. Completely different. Hell, compare Elias Sampson. His name is different. Compare Elias from how he was on NXT to the main roster. Now, Elias might be an exception to some of these rules where certain talent who gets to the main roster aren't as acceptable or successful as they were on NXT. Elias is showing us that it's okay to not do so well on NXT and still be good on the main roster. He's so much better on the main roster than he is on NXT. But even that is a clear indication that it's not the same thing. So just because it's under the same umbrella doesn't mean that everything's the same. So right there, I have to disagree with Xavier Woods when he's making this point. But okay, that's just the first point he makes. Let's continue. Let's go on to, let's see here. First off, let me get rid of this picture. Let's go ahead and just continue reading and then I'll comment as we go. You just got an awesome wrestling show on Saturday night. You just had an awesome wrestling show on Sunday. And then you're going to watch Raw on Monday. Then you're going to watch SmackDown on Tuesday, then NXT. See, I got to stop you right there as well. I'm already getting this sense that he's expecting fans to just watch regardless. Now, I will give him this point. There are some fans like me who have a YouTube channel, who love wrestling, who can't stop watching it, who will watch, who will come up here, complain, tell the world how much we hate watching certain aspects of Raw and SmackDown, but will come up the very next week and still watch, still talk about it, almost like we're hurting ourselves. We're masochistic. And he has a point there. There are a lot of masochistic fans out there who will complain yet still continue to watch. But you shouldn't generalize all wrestling fans that way. And that is an issue I do have with him. I think he tends to generalize a little bit too much.
To be fair, I can't believe NXT is still WWE sometimes. It's like night and day with NXT and the main roster. They're just so different sometimes.
Sometimes you're being too nice when you say sometimes. They are different. They're different all the time. But anyways, getting back to this. Just because there are fans like me who love doing this, who love wrestling, who will deal with certain crap, who will, in a sense, eat crap and like the taste of it for money, for the sake of being a fan, not everyone does that. There are wrestling fans who watch me who have completely given up on Raw, who don't watch Raw, who don't watch SmackDown. They still watch NXT, but the regular weekly shows, they're done with them. They don't tune into any of the main roster shows because they've been beaten into submission Same repetitive booking, 50-50 booking, same people in the same spots, repetitive matches, bad storylines, bad matches. Everything is the same week in, week out. Nothing's changing. No one's growing. No one is developing. No stars are being created. So they give up. So to think that everyone is like Deluxe Man is not accurate. So when I read statements like that, I go, I get what you're trying to say, but don't generalize everybody. Not everyone is Deluxe Man. Now, if you're talking about me, yes, I will watch you because I love you, because I enjoy wrestling and I don't want to stop. That doesn't really mean that I'm in any shape or form any less than a wrestling fan who watches casually, who doesn't complain. I have a right to complain like every other fan of any other form of entertainment does when they watch something on TV. If I don't like it, I'm going to complain about it, but let's continue. He goes on to say, what are you complaining about? And then, like, you can watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, AAA, Lucha Underground. You can watch so much wrestling from all corners of the world, and it's awesome, and it's all good. It's all different guys and girls portraying their form of their art in their way. And then when I give it to you. So anytime, here we go, let's get to this part. So anytime anyone complains about wrestling, it's so annoying to me because people come off as entitled infants. So I will give him this point. And this is where I will stand up for Xavier Woods, because I do agree that we as fans can sometimes get a little out of hand when it comes to complaining. Hi, how you doing? There are some things that I've complained about here on YouTube that I wish I didn't. I took it way too much to heart, perhaps. Maybe I misunderstood. Whatever the case, there are some things that I said I do regret and I do wish I can take back. And I've allowed my fandom or my, I don't want to say smarkness. I hate that word. I hate the term smart. I hate the term mark. I just don't like those terms. I'm a wrestling fan. But like all fans, we tend to get too caught up into the ins and outs of the business. And therefore, we allow certain things to affect us that really shouldn't be affecting us. And I agree with him on that. And we as fans can take things way too far. The beach ball stuff, I am not a fan of. I have come up here and said, I hate it. Now, are there times where I can be biased and the beach ball comes out on certain segments I don't like? And I'm like, yes, awesome. Yeah, okay. But essentially, when you turn the mirror on segments that I do like and the beach ball comes out, I don't like it. So let's be real. I don't like the beach ball stuff. Hijacking shows, it depends. Sometimes when fans hijack shows, it makes them better. I just have to, be real with myself and understand that, again, it really just depends. If the product that I'm watching I don't like, I'll be real with you. There are some things I will let slide. And I can be here all day just giving you examples of fans just taking things way too far. So, I will agree with Xavier Woods that we as fans can take things too far. Here's where I will get on him about things. Number one, why are we acting like wrestling is the only form of entertainment that deals with this? Okay, first off, you do realize that the music industry, the sports industry, the movie industry, whatever industry, cooking industry, baseball industry, sports industry, race car industry, is that still sports? I'm getting all over the place. The point is, every form of entertainment deals with this. Every form of someone putting themselves out in the public is going to receive some level of criticism, whether it's extreme or not that extreme. That's the perks and the curses of being an entertainer. You are going to be criticized when you put yourself out in the public. Hell, I'm criticized. I'm not nearly as big as Xavier Woods, but I'm criticized every time I come up here with this YouTube channel. There are people in this live chat right now who don't like me, who will come up here and say stuff like, oh, Deluxe Man, you're being too critical. Deluxe Man, you're doing this and this and this. But I'm going to get that. And I have to be able to handle that. Otherwise, I shouldn't be here. So I don't like this idea that these wrestlers, I'm not going to actually generalize too many other wrestlers, because not every wrestler does that. But there are some wrestlers in the business, like Xavier Woods, I love you, buddy, but you do this, who live in this bubble. And they believe that every other entertainer is like absolutely fine. They don't deal with this stuff. They are perfect. They have money. Everybody loves them. Nobody criticizes them. Ask LeBron James how he deals with his life. Every day that man walks out, he's being compared to literally the greatest basketball player in the world, Michael Jordan. How do you think he feels about that? Ask anybody. Gal Gadot. Like, how do you feel about being an actress? Like, do you not deal with criticism? I'm pretty sure everybody is giving her a hard time on certain things. I can't name it, because Gal Gadot is amazing. But ask any entertainer. Ask anybody that you know of that's famous how you feel about, their fan base. And they will mention the fact that they get criticized sometimes, but the trick is you have to take the good with the bad. If you get good criticism, that's great. But not all criticism is going to be nice. Some criticism is straight up rough to take. But that's a part of life. That is a part of the game. And if you can't handle that, you probably should not be in the business. I'm just saying. And here's my second point about Xavier Woods. Because I look at Xavier Woods, all of his matches I've loved. I haven't seen one bad Xavier Woods match. There are a couple of matches that I don't remember, but that's not saying that they're bad. It just means that they're average, normal matches that just kind of blend in with everybody else. But I've never seen one bad Xavier Woods match, whether he was Consequences Creed in TNA or FCW, or Xavier Woods NXT, WWE, New Day, or whenever he did that gimmick with Brodus Clay. Remember that dancing gimmick he did with Brodus Clay? Good. No, so, like, any match that he's had, I have never, ever given him crap for. I love his channel, Up, Down, Down. I love the stuff he does with the wrestlers. He has literally created another platform for these wrestlers to get over with the audience on YouTube. Very successful. Over 1 million subscribers. And he's made connections with the gaming industry. Xavier Woods has established himself as a brand with Up, Down, Down, and then the stuff with New Day. Very successful on the main roster. Do y'all understand how good Xavier Woods has it right now? Does anybody understand that this guy is living the life he should be? I don't know what's going on with him backstage and stuff, but this man has his own YouTube channel. He's making a ton of money off merchandise with WWE. One of the best acts on the main roster. New Day, easily one of the most over acts in wrestling right now. Easily. Any wrestling promotion would want the New Day on their program. Okay? I guarantee you, if Xavier Woods wanted to do something, he would be able to do it. He has pull. He can say wherever he wants, anytime he wants. Because he's established his role as a legit talent. So you have this guy who has everything going for him money-wise, has a PhD, has his own YouTube channel, has all the friends in the world. This guy literally was involved in a scandal with Paige, let's just bring it up, that when people heard about it, they were giving him, they wasn't giving him crap for it. They were giving him yeah, man, you slept with Paige? What? Nothing this guy has done really has made fans go, screw Xavier Woods. Seriously. So, the fact that he's bothered by fans complaining, I don't understand. Why are you bothered by this? That's what I want to understand. Xavier Woods, why are you bothered by this? Why do you care? Why do you care if a deluxe man says, Xavier Woods had a bad match tonight? Xavier Woods had a horrible segment tonight. Why do you care? What is there? You say we complain, but what is there to complain about what we're complaining about? You see what I'm doing here? I don't understand why Xavier Woods is letting this bother him. Now he goes on, and I do want to address this point too with the article, and this is the final point that I want to get to. He does say, because in reality wrestling hurts so badly, and then we're hurting ourselves to entertain the masses, and sometimes the masses want to tell us how much it sucks. And I get that. And as a creator, as someone who, again, has his own platform, who does create his own content, we are our biggest critics. For me, speaking for myself, I personally hate watching these videos back. I cannot stand watching my own stuff. Not saying I don't go back and do it. I still go back and watch a couple of my videos. But for example, my favorite videos to make are, well, it's a series called What Fans Want versus What Corporate Wants, where I basically portray WWE and the fans in the form of characters.
LeBron gets the most hate out of any NBA guy ever.
I disagree with that. He gets hate, but he doesn't get that much hate. But the point is, he deals with criticism like Xavier Woods and any other wrestler does, because they're in the entertainment business. But getting back to my point, the videos that I love to go back and watch are those What Fans Want versus What Corporate Wants videos. And there was a particular time where, I forgot which one it was. It was the Women's Evolution one, where I was so proud of it. I was so happy with that. I could have watched that video. I still could go back and watch it 24/7, all the time, every day, over and over again, because I was so proud of it. That video, when it first came out, got a lot of hate. It got bombed. It got completely just hammered by Bella Twin fans, because I didn't necessarily rant or disrespect the Bella Twins in that video, but I did put them in a light where they weren't seen as legends. And because of that, it got a lot of dislikes. That hit me very hard, because I put my heart and soul into that video. I put my time and effort into making that something I was proud of. And to see fans crap on it, it hurt. It hurt. And I get that. I understand it when people like Xavier Woods, oh Lord, yeah, it hurt. I love these secret chats, by the way.
I wish Xavier would understand, and the rest of these shields for the WWE were not criticizing the performers, we're criticizing the writers because they can't do their job.
And I want to get back. Oh, that was the wrong button. Sorry about that. SmackDown. Wrong show. Okay, I want to get back to this point, but I want to come back exactly to what you just said, Eric. Thank you for the $10 super chat. But he's right. You know, I do feel like these wrestlers at times kind of get their egos mixed up in stuff that they shouldn't be. But getting back to my point, though, because I was on the road with this. You know, I put my heart and soul into that video, Women's Evolution, and it got panned, and it hurt me. And so what I ended up doing was taking it down. But when I took it down, I felt even worse, because I feel like I gave in to the criticism. I was defeated to the criticism. Instead of letting it make me better, instead of letting it shape me into something that I can be proud of, I let it get me down. And so it's back up. The Women's Evolution video is back up, and I'm happy I put it back up, because it's still one of my best videos ever. But the point is, bringing it back to Xavier Woods, I get it. You put your body on the line 24/7. You're out there working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You're on the road 300 days a year. 300 days a year. You're hardly at home. You probably have a wife. I'm not too sure what your, personal life is. I don't know this guy. I understand how frustrating it is putting your heart and soul into your work, into this career that you have, and you hear people who haven't ever done a damn thing in wrestling tell you that it sucks. I get it. I understand the pain of it. With that said, getting back to a point that I said earlier, that's the nature of the business, man. It really is. I'm sorry. I really don't understand what the big deal is about wrestling fans having something to say about something they don't like about wrestling. Okay. We saw a show we did not like, and we're coming up here to express why we don't like it. Like, I see nothing wrong with that. We're not coming to your house, breaking in. We're not harming you in any well, we're not harming you physically. Maybe we are harming you, like, emotionally. Super chats are coming in like crazy.
Because MMA, UFC was made somewhat a legit sport, fans got used to it and want that in places like WWE. I think they may be what they mean by entitled.
I mean, that is true. We get other forms of entertainment, and then we expect that same level of perhaps interest, perhaps same level of entertainment from stuff like WWE, if not more. And then when we don't get it, we just think it sucks. We can make that same comparison with NXT and WWE. NXT gave us an awesome takeover. Why can't the main roster do it? And if the main roster doesn't do it, I get that. But again, getting off topic, let me get back to this. I get it, man. You know, at the same time, though, we as fans have every right to complain about anything we want, just like every other fan base does with their form of entertainment. Wrestling isn't the only business that gets criticism. Now, can you argue that wrestling gets more criticism than any other form? Possible. I do believe wrestling gets panned a lot more than music, than movies, than you name it, sports. But it's still not the only one that gets panned. Alright? There is a way to make people care about the business and get them to a point where they don't complain anymore. So, what I would wish more wrestlers like Xavier Woods would do, instead of calling fans entitled infants for doing something that they have every right to do, why don't you use that criticism as I don't know, maybe as a reason or an inspiration to continue to improve yourself? Which is exactly what Xavier Woods is doing. Which is why I don't understand why he's complaining about this at all. Why would Xavier Woods care about this? And getting back to a super chat that I recently got from Eric. Was it Eric or was it Isaiah? It was one of those two. I think it was Eric. Well, one of the super chats mentioned the fact that why would you complain about anything in terms what fans are saying when it has nothing to do with what you're complaining about? Because first off, Xavier Woods is just talking about the in-ring aspect. I put my body on the line all the time and it hurts, so I hate when people say that match sucked. When have we ever said Xavier Woods had a bad match? When have we ever said that any member of the New Day has done anything bad? One segment I can remember right now. Everything else I don't remember, but one segment I remember with the New Day called The Old Day. Horrible. Absolute trash. One of the worst segments in history, and even they said that. Regardless of that one segment, I don't remember one other time I've said anything bad about the New Day. I've said anything bad about them as performers. You want to know why? Because they're good. Xavier Woods is good. Xavier Woods is one of my favorite acts on SmackDown, along with the New Day. You don't get these criticisms. You know who does? People who are not good. People who can't talk on the microphone. People who can't wrestle. People who aren't capable of making it work in the business. People who get bad creative directions. Creative! When fans complain, that's nothing too. When fans are complaining about WWE, it's more so to do with the creative direction than it is the in-ring talent. Because in-ring, everything's great. I feel like this is the best. Super chats are just coming in like crazy.
People like Xavier complain about WWE's ways too.
But see, Xavier Woods is someone that can make a difference because he's in WWE. And he has pull. And he has established himself in a way where he can do something about that. But not everybody can do that. Regardless, when people complain about WWE, it hardly has anything to do with the in-ring matches, the in-ring showcase, the in-ring abilities. Because out of any generation of talent in WWE, this has to be the best in terms of in-ring matches I've seen, period. What they complain about is the characters, is the direction of those characters, is the stories involving those characters, is everything in terms of creative Creative is WWE's weakest aspect. And we all know it. We all know it. Let's be real. When the New Day first appeared in 2014? 2015? 2014. I'll say 2014. We hated it. Because it was boring. It was It was three very bland, very directionless baby faces put together because they were black. Seriously. That's all it was. There was no reason behind it. There was no... Well, I'm pretty sure there was chemistry. We just didn't see it until they turned heel. But we didn't see the chemistry. There was nothing interesting about that group other than three black wrestlers put in a group and they go, New Day, and that was it. It was boring. But then they turned you heel, and then you guys were allowed to be yourselves, which is always how it should be. You built your characters, and then as a result of building your characters, you were able to give them ideas to create your own direction, and then you got freedom on the microphone, and then you were allowed to be what you are today, which is one of the best talents.
Wrestling is subjective, just like any other sport or act of entertainment. Us fans have every right to complain. The customer is always right, right?
Exactly, man. The customer is always right. I don't want to say we pay your bills, we give you money to buy your house, we bought your house. I didn't buy anything. But every business knows without the customers, there is no money. And if there is no money, there is no business. But again, I'm getting off topic, getting back to what I was saying. You established yourself, Xavier Woods, to where you can make your own money. Where you do, in a sense, have your own business. You are making your own stream of revenue. And you're at a point now, Xavier, where if you left WWE, you would be good. Bro, you don't need WWE. They need you. You have established yourself to a point where you really could do anything you want. And fans will follow you because you're great. You are someone that we want to invest in. But I'm sorry, Xavier, not everyone is above creative with WWE. You could... I don't want to say he can do it all the time, but Xavier Woods is someone that I can see taking something bad and making it into something good. Not everyone can do that. Not everyone is that capable.
We complain because we care and want to change.
And thank you, Anthony Ace, because I was just getting ready to say that. And when we see these characters, these wrestlers get these bad stories, these bad characters, these bad directions, we complain because we want to see them do better. We don't complain just to complain. I don't come up here and just rant and rave because I like it. I like coming up here and talking about how good wrestling is sometimes. Sometimes. I get ahead of myself, I'll admit. But yeah, we want to see everyone have it good as Xavier Woods. We want to see everyone get where they are, be able to build themselves up to a point where they can have their own revenue streams, to where they can actually be someone big and, make it good, make it big in the wrestling business. And when someone else gets big, it helps the wrestling business out and makes wrestling a lot more fun. But we can't do that when creative is so bad. And that's why we complain. But again, bringing it back to Xavier Woods, who says we're entitled infants. Yeah, we can be entitled sometimes. You're talking to someone that grew up in the Attitude Era. I have grown up in the Attitude Era. I've seen Stone Cold Steve Austin. I've grown up with the Hulk Hogans, with the Rocks, with the Undertakers, with the Mick Foleys, with the Triple H's, with, you name it, the Macho Man Randy Savage as well. He might be a little bit past my time, but I know who he is. I grew up in that era. So maybe I am a little entitled, but can you blame me? When WWE 24/7 brings these same people out, they bring back the Shawn Michaels, they bring back the Undertakers, they bring back the Brock Lesnar, they bring back all these legends, giving them more TV time than your generation, reminding us how good things used to be and how good they're not right now. And that, Xavier, is not your fault. That's not our fault. That is creative's fault. So, I'm sorry. For the most part, I get what he's saying, and I understand Xavier Woods, but I gotta disagree with the guy. I don't think, fans fans are in the wrong for complaining. So to answer the question, is he right or wrong? I think he's wrong. I think he has a point when he says we can get a little out of hand and we can take things a little too much to heart. And, you know, we could make things a little bit more difficult on them. There are fans out there that do take it too far. But don't generalize the entire fan base. And also realize it's not just wrestling. Every other form of entertainment deals with it. We just act like because we're in this bubble, we're the only ones dealing with it. And I don't appreciate that. So sorry, Xavier. I respect you. I am happy for you. I hope you continue to be successful. But you're wrong. You are wrong. It's not the fans' fault for complaining. We aren't entitled infants because we choose to care about something that we want to see get better. And then we're just voicing our opinions and our frustrations about it. No, I'm sorry. I want to end it with this too because I do have a theory. I have a big theory that I want to put out there because something's not sitting with me when it comes to Xavier Woods saying this. Again, I keep harping on, why does he care? Why do you care? Xavier, you're doing good things right now. Why does it matter to you? And it just kind of hit me. He's not the only WWE wrestler saying this. I'm pretty sure there are other people on the roster who say this as well. Triple H has said something like this many times before because he's in a position where he has to say it. But that's where I had to pump the brakes and put out this theory. Do you guys think that WWE is telling the wrestlers to say this stuff? Again, I don't know whether this is WWE or Xavier Woods or not. This could just be Xavier expressing himself. But there's a side of me that believes Xavier Woods was told to say this. Because he's doing PR work for WWE, right? Okay, so what's to say there are certain answers to certain questions that he was told to give? You know what I'm saying? Because he has to. And if he doesn't give them, he's going to look bad and then he's going to lose his position in the company. So I think there is a side of me that thinks when I hear these statements entitled infants, I don't think that's something Xavier Woods actually believes. I think that's more the company telling him to say it. Now, he still said it. Regardless of the company telling him to say it or not, he still said it. It still came out your mouth. You said this. You was quoted saying this. Whether you meant it one way or another, and whether you believe it or not, you still said it. With that said, though, I do believe there is something to be said about WWE PR and certain answers getting certain questions getting certain answers. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to think about. I'm going to leave you with that. Do you believe that perhaps maybe Xavier Woods is just regurgitating what the company wants him to say? Something to think about. But it's a big topic of discussion. Thank you guys for coming up here to check out this live broadcast on Xavier Woods. Give me your thoughts about it down below. Before you go, I'm going to take 5 minutes real quick to read your live chat comments. Like the video. How many likes do we have? Give me a like check. I'll call it a like check. Like update. How many likes do we have? But before we go, man, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to, your boy Alyx, man, watch him. I always appreciate you guys making me a part of your day. But let's see what you guys gotta say about this. How you feel? We got 52 likes. Come on, y'all. 52. How many people are watching this? Get this video a like. Let's at least get to 100. Let's at least get to 100 here. All right. 0. I am not about to engage in an argument like you was the entire time. Who are we talking to? Okay, I don't know who he's talking to. It can't be me. Chase, is there another what fans want versus what corporate wants video in the works? Yes. Currently working out the kinks of that. This one's gonna be a little different. It's gonna take a little bit more time, and I don't want it to be exactly like the other ones. When I make these videos, I want them to be different from the previous ones, and I want each one to be better than the last one. So I'm trying to make this next one better than the Roman Reigns one, which is really hard to do, because that one so far is like, dang, but we'll see. Ultra Shadow isn't talking to me. Isaiah Webb ask me a question. Who is more criticized about NBA player? Who is a more criticized NBA player than LeBron James, other than KD? I was gonna say KD. Honestly, he got a lot of flack from moving away from that previous team. Was that Thunder? I'm not too sure if it was OKC or not, but whatever team he was, it was Thunder. Right, it was OKC to the Golden State Warriors just to get a ring. I'm sorry, LeBron James gets to move to whatever team he wants and doesn't get any kind of criticism. You know what I'm saying? He moved to Heat and everybody was like, okay, cool. No problem there. But KD does it and it's like he's Satan. Oh, you're cheating. Oh, that's blah, 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 blah. I'm like, nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with him wanting to get a ring, wanting him to be successful. They invited him. They gave him the contract. I'm just saying. Nothing wrong with that, per se. Let's see here. Did I hear about Daredevil being canceled? Yeah, I have my theories on Netflix canceling the Marvel series. I think because Disney is starting a new streaming service, it does put things a little into perspective. Think about it. When it's announced that Disney is starting a new service, that's when we're getting rid of the Marvel series. I mean, come on, guys. I think common sense would tell you that they're moving over to Disney. I would think, but that's a video for another time. Let's see here. All right. I mean, everybody seems to be talking about basketball now. So I think... Oh, I like this character. Do you think Xavier Woods is trying to connect with Kenny Omega? There is no trying. He has connected with Kenny Omega. I think he... Oh, shoot. We got 142 likes? Like that? 142 likes already? Or is it just those are the people who are here? Okay, that's the amount of people viewing the channel, not the people who like the video yet. All right, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he already has connected with Kenny Omega. I think they're good friends. I'm pretty sure they talk to each other a lot. So, to me, it's just, just kind of wrapping things up here. Xavier Woods, when he says stuff like this, it always comes from a place of, I don't want to say selfishness, but it's this idea that wrestling deals with all this crap that no one else deals with. It's this bubble that wrestlers live in that just say we deal with some stuff that no one else deals with, which is not true. Do you deal with more than other forms of entertainment? Absolutely. But you're not the only people being criticized on Twitter. You're not the ones that get more criticized or the ones that get the most criticism either. Please. Like I said, LeBron James gets a lot of criticism. Not as much as KD. KD got a lot more than LeBron James. But I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with fans complaining. And if you don't like it, you can get better or just ignore it. Especially if you're Xavier Woods. But you worried about me saying your match sucks. Like, for real, Xavier Woods. If you're watching this video, which you're probably not. You have me blocked on Twitter, so you're probably not. But regardless, if I was Xavier Woods, the last thing I would care about is some guy with dreads on YouTube with a microphone talking about a match that I probably don't even remember. Or a segment that, quite frankly, was bad, but I got paid off of it anyways. Why do you care? I think the right attitude that I'm hoping Xavier Woods will adapt soon is just, okay, thank you for your opinion, and I will do my best to entertain you in the future. I will take your criticism into consideration and improve. And if it really isn't anything worth my time, then why you're not the other? You're on the road 300 days a year. Why are you letting people who don't do what you do, who just have a microphone and a webcam, affect you emotionally, buddy? The only critic that you should listen to is the one up here. You're your worst critic. So, I have to disagree with him. I think he's wrong. We are not entitled infants because we complain about wrestling. We're entitled infants because we're entitled infants. We're a generation of entitlement. I think millennials, wherever you want to call us, I don't care. 90s kids, especially 80s kids, and of course, I'll say 2000 kids too, but especially 80s and 90s kids, We had it good. The best video games, the best movies, the best times to be around, the best artists, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, man, Prince, the best TV shows. I can sit here all day, Kids WB, I can sit here, Cartoon Network, WWF, Attitude Era, WCW. You goddamn right we're entitled. You goddamn right, but we're entitled because we're entitled, not because we complain about something we don't like. That's all I'm going to say. Hey guys, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to cut it off right here. I hope you guys have a good day. Give me your thoughts about this down below. How you feel about Xavier Woods. And with that said, if you want me to do more of this, let me know. I can do this as much as possible. But if you enjoyed this live broadcast of me talking about Xavier Woods, let me know. But I'm out of here. I love you. This is your boy, The X-Men, signing off right here in The X-Men's World. You take it easy. Peace out.